sharpen your memory. Exercise. We should have figured it out. We as a society or neuroscience should have figured out what's good for the heart, should have translated what's good for the brain. We now know, team, that exercise is so much more valuable when it comes to brain health than it has ever been before. And why is that? Because the brain secretes this chemical protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. You're going to hear a lot about BDNF over the next 4 or 5 years. Let me tell you what it is. Are you all familiar with Miracle-Gro, that fertilizer that we put on our plants and our lawns? Yeah. Well, guess what? BDNF is Miracle-Gro for the brain. It's an essential component to allow those neurons, 100 billion of them with all those connections, to kind of keep well-oiled, to keep talking to themselves. But neuroscience really didn't have what they did in the old days. They had to use autopsied brains because we didn't have the tomography. And so what they showed that people with Alzheimer's and dementia typically were void of this brain-derived neurotropic factor. It was very, very limited in their brain. So now when they had the PET scans, we can now find out how this chemical protein is being secreted into the brain. We now know conclusively that the majority of it happens through aerobic exercise. So how many of you here exercise? Yeah, all of you. Congratulations, team. That's fabulous. Anytime you have a chance to do some form of exercise, as Barb says, 30 minutes a day. It may seem like a lot. If you don't exercise, start with 5 minutes. Start with 10. But here's the key. Neuroscience says we need to get the heart rate up into its target heart rate, and that's something that you'll learn. But the idea is, on a walk, it's like walking towards a bus that's about ready to pull out and you need to get on. It's that kind of a little bit of an intensity. Not a hard type walk, but increased, because we need to increase the heart rate to get it to increase the flow of the BDNF. Does that make sense? So great opportunity for us.